Well, good evening again, everyone. So I'm glad to have you on with us this evening. And boy, you guys and you ladies are in for a great treat. My good friend and my brother in the Lord, Brother Lynn Spencer, is our platform speaker tonight. I would say Lynn, but Lynn actually was one of the first 10 agents with Union Financial Freedom way back in 2006, and he has literally taught tens of thousands really how money works. Of course, like I said, he's a follower of Jesus Christ. He's married to his beautiful wife, Carmen. They're the co-founders of Freedom Ministry Financial, and just great people that we love. He's an entrepreneur. Even he's a Christian author. So I could go on and on, but Lynn, guess what? That's not important. I guess it is important. But the important thing is having you on with us this evening and sharing how we help America. We help families one at a time. So Lynn, take it away, my friend.
Well, thank you so much, Steve. I really appreciate the introduction, and you're absolutely right. I'm not the important piece of this puzzle. He is. And we'll always give him the praise, honor, and the glory. I do want to welcome each one of you here tonight. And Steve, thank you again so very much for that wonderful introduction. Friends, this presentation tonight is called The Pathway to Financial Freedom. I believe that you, as Steve mentioned, you are in for a treat tonight because we're going to truly, genuinely help you in ways that you may not even have possibly imagined. But I do need to get the legalese out of the way first. So I'm going to leave that slide on screen for just a moment and let you go ahead and read through that. And as you watch this program tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I would encourage you to just take some notes, but give us your full attention. I really mean that, because when I first saw this, as Steve mentioned, I was one of the first 10 people that actually had the opportunity and privilege of seeing this and being part of it. And it completely changed my life in a dramatic way. So friends, you are about to see the most extraordinary business opportunity on the planet. And I know a lot of companies claim that, but this really is. It's the real deal. It's a very high level, very lucrative business opportunity that we are just honored and privileged and blessed to be part of. Because this is not only about financial freedom, friends, this is about time freedom, the kind of freedom that gives you back your life, frankly. You know, most people shrink their dreams to match their income, but what if you could literally grow your income to match your dreams? And what if you could increase your income while simultaneously and rapidly converting your debt into wealth? I want you to just think about that for a moment. What if 3, 5, 7 years down the road, everything that is now a debt, a liability for you, would be on the asset side of the liabilities and asset sheet? What if you could literally convert your debt into wealth in a very rapid time frame? Friends, who do you know that is being crushed by inflation? Think about that. We all are, of course. Every one of us are. Who do you know that has debt? Well, that's 95% of the American public. Mortgages, auto loans, credit cards, student loans, and so much more. And who do you know that needs a lot more income? Well, again, that's most of us. And let me ask you this, and I really want you to think about this for a moment. What have you invested both in time and money so far to get you where you are right now in your life? And has it paid off the way that you had hoped and planned? Are you where you want to be? Are you debt-free yet? Do you have both financial and time freedom? Friends, I'm about to introduce you to the only opportunity on the planet that literally allows you to rapidly decrease your debts, every one of your debts, car loans, credit cards, mortgages, student loans, you name it, while simultaneously increasing your income, and doing so incredibly fast. You could potentially save hundreds of thousands of dollars in the next few years. At the same time, really beginning immediately, have the opportunity to start earning $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. Some people are earning $4,000 to $5,000 a week within just a few days of getting started. That's not unheard of. This is truly an extraordinary opportunity. Let me give you a little bit of a background on this company and how this all came about. The company is United Financial Freedom. A little bit about our history. Skylar Whitman here on the top, John Washenko. They are high school friends. They actually grew up together. They're childhood friends. And in the 1990s and 2000s, they had their own mortgage company, and they were doing incredibly well. They were one of the fastest growing mortgage companies in the entire Intermountain West. They were growing, bringing on hundreds of clients every month. But both of these guys were aware of the debt epidemic in America. Now, I want you to think about that. Do we have a debt epidemic in America? Better believe we do. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. Now, because they were in the mortgage business, they saw their clients doing some of the same behavior that they actually witnessed their parents doing when they were young, which resulted in both of these families losing their homes when these two men were young. When they were young men, they watched both of their families go through the foreclosure process, lose their homes, and have to move because of debt. And that stuck with them. So when they saw their mortgage clients kind of doing the same kind of behavior, and what I mean by that is coming back every 2, 3, 4 years and refinancing, pulling equity out and buying toys and whatever, they realized there's not only an epidemic of debt, people really don't understand how mortgages are structured. They don't understand the true cost of their debt, and we need to do something to help our clients. Now, that was their original goal. They just wanted to help their clients. So they invested millions of their own dollars to develop the MMA program. And you're going to see that here in a moment tonight. They developed the Money Max account program that will allow people to rapidly pay off a 30-year mortgage along with all of their other consumer debt, car loans, credit cards, student loans, RV loans, boat loans, tax loans, you name it, in as little as 5 to 7 years. And it was saving them tens, oftentimes hundreds of thousands of dollars in the process without refinancing and without changing their budget. Friends, that's the key. If you can rapidly increase your income, decrease your debt without changing your budget and without sacrificing your current lifestyle, oh my goodness, that's a win-win-win, right? But these guys knew something else. They knew we've got to make this so incredibly simple that anybody can do it, literally. Anybody can do this, and it is powerful. They have won so many awards over the years, including the Entrepreneur of the Year award in 2008. That was given to them by Ernst & Young. You'll recognize that name as a worldwide accounting firm. Ernst & Young came in and dug. They did a deep dive into the owners and companies' financials, their longevity, what was their retention, what is the product viability of the program, how did it impact consumers. That same Entrepreneur of the Year award was given to the founders of Apple, Starbucks, eBay, and Microsoft. That's a very prestigious award. Ernst & Young doesn't just hand out awards. They dig, and these guys earned it because they changed the financial world and just literally put things so incredibly powerful and simple into the consumer's hands. And again, we've been featured in national magazines now for the last couple of decades. We've now helped tens of thousands of clients nationwide pay off thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in debt. Well, that's probably a low number. So let me give you the real number. We've helped thousands of clients pay off $2.4 billion of debt. That's a big number. And if you saw how much we actually have under management, it is impressive. It is just impressive. These guys have just exploded. Their business has exploded because why? People are tired of being in debt. People want solutions. People want answers. And we have a proven, powerful, life-changing solution and an answer. Oftentimes an answer to prayer, if you want to know the truth. Let me share with you what these guys shared with me when I first interviewed with them and wanted to be part of their organization. They said, Lynn, the first thing we need to teach you and educate you on is what is the true cost of debt? Something that most people never really take the time to look at or calculate. So they started here. And they said, what if you had a credit card and you went down to the store? Let's say, for an example, you bought a big screen TV. You wanted one of those big 85-inch big screen TVs. You ran down to Costco because it was on sale. You didn't have the money to buy it, so you put it on the Visa card, right? That's what most Americans do. That's how we live. Well, that $2,500 at 18% interest on the Visa card might seem like not that big of a deal. But friends, if I just pay the minimum monthly payment on that Visa card, it's going to take me 333 months to pay it off. And it's going to cost me $5,896.48 in added interest over that period of time. Look at that. I borrowed $2,500. I'm paying back a total of $8,396.48. It's taking me 333 months to do it. And the interest is compounding, not in my favor, but in the bank's favor over that period of time. I'm actually paying 235% interest. And then they showed me how mortgages really work, something, again, that most people simply don't understand. If I had a $300,000 mortgage, for an example, and I had a 4% APR, that's annual percentage rate, interest rate, 4% annual percentage rate on that mortgage with a payment of $1,432.25. Well, what do most consumers, and I used to be guilty of this myself, what do most of us look at? We look at the monthly payment. Can we make the monthly payment? Does that fit into the budget? And are we comfortable with that monthly payment? If the answer to that is yes, does the interest rate sound reasonable? Well, 4% sounds pretty decent, pretty low. In truth, 6-7% really is not that terrible, right? Well, wrong. Because when you look at how much actually goes to interest on a mortgage, it will shock you. Friends, please pay attention. Pay attention to this. I need you to see this. If this was my mortgage, do you know at the 5-year mark, I would have paid in $85,935. That's the total amount that I paid to the lender. They only credit me with $28,657 of principal. Well, wait a minute. Where's the other $57,000 over that 5-year period of time? $28,000 went to principal. Where's the other $57,000? You guessed it, interest. And up to that point, it is mathematically 66.7% interest on every dollar I paid to the lender. Wow, 66.7% interest. At the 10-year mark, I've paid in $171,870. The bank only credits me for $63,648. That means in a 10-year period of time, I paid $108,000. Mathematically, up to that 10-year mark, 62.97% of every payment I made went to bank profit in the form of interest. At the 20-year mark, 10 years later, I'm just barely getting to the point where I've got roughly 50% equity in the property. I've paid down about 50% of the principal. Look how much went to interest, $185,000 in the first 20 years, and it's still 53.88% interest. And even if I pay it off over that 30-year period of time and don't refinance, I'm paying $215,607 of interest on a $300,000 note. Friends, do the math. That's 41.81% interest over the life of the loan. Well, wait a minute, I thought it was 4%. That's APR, annual percentage rate. And you took 30 years to pay it off. Do you know when it actually becomes a true 4% loan? Year 29. The very last year of the mortgage, it becomes a true 4% loan. Up until then, it is horrendous. Now, did you know that these kind of numbers are actually on your truth in lending statement? If you went and pulled out your mortgage documents, you'd actually see something similar to this. It's right on the truth in lending. Here's a client. This is a snapshot of their truth in lending. They borrowed $396,670. They got what most people would consider a screaming deal on their APR, their interest rate, 2.659%. But look what it says right here on the truth in lending statement, folks, right there where my mouse is. And I'm going to blow that up so you can see it even bigger. It says, this is not your interest rate. It's the interest rate you've got stuck in your head because that's what the lender wanted you to see and hear. But that's not your interest rate. Well, if that's not my interest rate, what is? Oh, it's this total interest percentage number down here. That's 42.24%. Friends, seriously. And look at today's interest rates on mortgages. Today's interest rates on mortgages are up around 7, a little bit more, depending on the credit score and what you're borrowing, 7.225% for a 30-year fixed mortgage. That means that on a $400,000 mortgage over a 30-year time span, the borrower would literally pay back a total of $979,889 to the bank. What in the world is that homeowner going to gain by spending $579,889 in interest? What do they get? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. In fact, if you look at it and really think about it, they're buying one home for themselves and one home for the bank. And the bank doesn't even send you a thank you card. And over that 30-year mortgage time span, that actually works out to be 144.97% total interest percentage. Friends, this is insane. It is absolutely insane. And that's what John and Skylar saw. Being in the mortgage business, they understood this keenly. And they said, that's insanity. People are literally giving their retirement and their financial wealth to the banks. Why? That's why they went out and spent millions and millions and millions of dollars to develop the Money Max account program. And it is brilliant. Have you ever thought of what it might be like if you had GPS technology at your fingertips in regards to your finances? Well, friends, that's what we have. And you and I both know if you were going to take a trip cross country, you're not going to pull out a whole bunch of maps. You're going to punch in the destination, even if it's just across the city. If you're going somewhere you're unfamiliar with, you've never been there before, you're going to punch in that destination on your GPS, either in your phone or in your car. That's what we have. GPS technology that will literally guide you and show you every single day the exact path that is the best and smartest path mathematically for you to take based on your income, your expenses, your debts, how each one of the debts are structured. It's genius and it works because it literally gives you a day-by-day guide so that you can not only get out of debt as fast as possible, save as much money as mathematically possible, you can oftentimes even create wealth at the same time you're canceling interest. It's got real-time guidance and financial strategies built in. But remember, they had to make it simple, right? They had to make it simple so that anybody could do it. And that's what they accomplished. Technology changes things in a big way. And friends, when it comes to technology and the right business opportunity at the right time, it truly does change everything. Let me show you John and Rebecca Jones. This is John and Rebecca Jones. You can see on screen, they've got 5 debts, an American Express card, $1,250 balance, 21.99% interest, $35 a month payment. Auto loan 30 or 27,500, 2.99%, $494 a month. Student loan 30 grand at 2.89%. Visa card they owe $2,500 on, 18.99%. And a brand new $325,000 mortgage, 3.89%, monthly payment of $1,531.06. Total those loans up, those debts, and you'll see that John and Rebecca are scheduled to pay $386,250 of principal debt. That's the principal. That's not the interest. Take a wild guess at how much the banks and the lenders have calculated that they are going to charge John and Rebecca in interest. An additional $241,918 just in interest. The banks and the lenders want John and Rebecca to pay them back $628,168. $241,000 of that is interest, almost $242,000, and take 30 years to do it. Why? Why? Here comes the Money Max account saying, John and Rebecca, that's insanity. We're going to put all of your information in, and this program is going to guide you. It's going to create a customized action plan specific to you to tell you exactly how to best manage your money to get out of debt in the fastest amount of time and save $171,572. Friends, that changes things for John and Rebecca. That's huge. Do the math. That literally saves them over 20 years of debt payments. That's significant. And it's going to guide them every single day exactly how to accomplish that. And again, it's the same money that's currently flowing through their hands right now. It's just managed in a much more mathematically efficient manner because this program has hundreds of thousands of calculations and algorithms running in the background. You don't see it, but it's there because they wanted to keep it simple. They just want you to be able to point and click to save the most amount of interest and time possible without changing the lifestyle, no refinancing necessary, and using this program as the guide and continuing to bank just like you would normally bank. You can use any ordinary checking and savings account. We're not going to touch your money. The program's not going to touch your money. You're still in charge of your money. This just simply becomes your financial best friend, your guide. Then John and Rebecca decide they'd like to be part of this business opportunity because they see what it's doing for them. My goodness, we're saving 171 grand. We're going to be out of debt in 9.1 years. Why would we not share that with people that we love and care about? They decide we're going to do it just part-time. We're going to maybe put in 2, 3, 4 hours a week, maybe 5 hours a week. With that little bit of effort, we can generate easily an additional $1,000 a week income beginning immediately. They put that into their program. Look at the result, folks. They just went from 9.1 years down to 5 years, and now they're going to save $201,000 with just a little part-time 3, 4, 5 hour a week position with a home-based business that is phenomenal. Excellent. Rebecca looks at that for a while, and they do that for a few weeks, and then they decide, why in the world am I killing myself going to a job every day that I really don't like? Why am I commuting? Why am I spending all this money on fuel and gas and being away from my family all this amount of time? You know, I'd really like to homeschool our kids, John. Why don't we just keep the kids home? I'll do the homeschooling and I'll do this business on a little bit more frequent basis. I can put in 15, 20 hours a week besides teaching the kids, and I can generate $3 grand a week income doing that. Let's see what that looks like. So they put that in. That takes them down to 2.5 years to be paid off. Now, remember, she gave up her job. Her regular income went away. She's replacing it with this home-based business opportunity. She gets her time freedom back. She gets to be a mom again. And they're going to save $219,473 and be done, paid off in full, including their mortgage, in 2.5 years. Friends, if you don't think that's extraordinary and life-changing, it gets even better than that, because after John and Rebecca are completely debt-free in just 2.5 years, What can they do? Well, anything they want. But if they take that money that they was paying to the bank in debt payments every month and they decide we're going to invest that money for 27.5 years of time that the program saved us. So for the next 27 and a half years after we're debt free, even if we only got a 1% return, just put it in a simple savings account and got a 1% return, John, at the end of that 30-year time frame, we could have $4.5 million for retirement. I told you this is extraordinary. This is life-changing. And not only is it brilliant, it gives you your freedom back. Financial freedom, debt freedom, converting your debts into wealth. And it's made simple. Freedom made simple. Friends, you were invited to take a look at this presentation tonight, and you know as well as I do, millions of Americans need help financially. Millions, hundreds of millions of Americans need help. There is an ocean of opportunity out there all around us every day. So let me tell you how you can be rewarded with this incredibly lucrative business opportunity. We pay 6 different ways: personal sales commissions, field trainer commissions, 5 different profit sharing pools, management overrides, leadership overrides, trips and incentives. Now, friends, you might be sitting back and saying, oh, is this one of those things? It's one of those life-changing things. Friends, you're perfectly capable of staying on the same path that you've been on for the past 5, 10, 15 years of your life. You can keep doing the same things if you want to. You can keep handing your retirement to the bank if you want to. Nobody's going to force you into this. We're not going to stop you. But this is a very high-level professional financial services company that is now proven, and they've been around 2 decades. In fact, if you count the time that they were in the mortgage business, 25 years in business, and it's proven. And yes, we reward our agents incredibly well. Do you have to go out and recruit others? No, absolutely not. You can make an extraordinary living just telling people what the program is doing for you, giving them the opportunity to save $100,000, $200,000 of interest and get back all of that money that they were giving to the bank. You can be paid very, very well. We start the compensation plan out at about $900 on average. The company wants you to split the first 2 sales with a trainer. They want you to be trained and know what you're doing, which is smart. We've got professional certified field trainers. So on the first couple of sales, you could look at maybe about $450. After that, you should be able to be up and running on your own and make the full commission. And after you've helped about 5 families, they're going to move you up. You're going to get a higher contract. This is very similar to how the insurance industry works, very similar to how real estate and, of course, the mortgage industry works as well. So you help about 5 families, you get a raise. You help another 5 families, you get another raise, and so on. After you've done about roughly 16 sales total, you'll be a senior director, making an average of $1,260 every time you help a family. Friends, you've literally got an opportunity in front of you right now that you can see clearly. You could go out and help 2, 3 families a week on your own without recruiting anybody, and you can go out and make $2,000 to $3,000 a week on your own, just helping people in your neighborhood, people that you know and love and care about. This is not hard. Invite them to a webinar. We'll do all the selling and telling. And once you've done about 30 families, you're going to be at the top of the heap and be an executive director, making about $1,550 every time you help somebody. Now, what are these other numbers? If you do decide, I'd really kind of like to build a little bit of a team, doesn't have to be big, just a small team, and I'd like to help them succeed too. I'd like to help them make the really big money, You can see that not only does their volume count towards your volume and combine it to help get you a raise, That's right. When you do decide, if you do decide to build a team, their volume counts with your volume, you get promoted quicker. But now you're in a position to override their production and get bonuses and overrides. Think how powerful that is. Well, let me give you an example. Let's say that it takes you 30, 60, maybe 90 days to get up here and where you're an executive director. And by the way, let me give you a little hint first. If you do decide to build a team, you don't have to make all 30 sales yourself. You only have to do 10. If I go out and get Brad on board and I help Brad make 10 sales, I make 10, and then I go out and get Sally and she makes 10 sales, that's 30 sales total in my team. I'm an executive director. So I didn't have to help 10 families, or 30, I only had to help 10. And then help Brad help 10, and help Sally help 10. Pretty simple, really, really simple. We've had people go all the way to executive director in 17 days. It's not hard because people want a solution. They need a financial solution, and we've got it. Now, if I'm an executive director, and let's say I've got one managing director on my team, I've got a senior director on my team. These numbers are the difference between my contract level and theirs. So that's the amount of override, the difference between their contract level and mine. I get to keep that difference. So if I've got 5 people on my team, 1 at each level, and we're each out there helping 1 family a week, again, part-time, 1 family a week, do you know that my income is $3,600 a week? What if we're all out there helping 2 families a week? Friends, that's $7,200 a week income. Would that change things in your life? Of course it would. We've got a lot of agents in the company that are out there actively helping 3, 4, 5 families a week. This is not hard. And it doesn't stop there, because as you raise up others and lift them up, they become an executive director, you get to override them and their entire team. And that goes down 6 generations, not 6 individuals, not 6 generations of individuals. Please understand this. This is a professional financial organization. This is 6 generations of teams. Friends, I'm going to share my own story at the end of the presentation tonight after we've heard from a couple of other people. And I'm going to blow you away with what happened for me personally, but I want you to hear from a couple of others first. In fact, this thing gets so crazy good. Did you know that even right in month 1, you can immediately get into the bonus pools? Even going out and helping 4 families your first month, just 1 per week, puts you right into that personal production pool. And that's a nice paycheck. And that's a bonus on top of all of the other money you've earned. Friends, I told you this is lucrative. And our business model is really simple. It's all just based on word of mouth. You'll get unlimited access to a world-class virtual office, marketing videos, websites, illustration software, client proposal systems, tracking systems, training libraries, home office support. In fact, let me show you what you really get. But before I show you what you really get with this, and it'll blow you away, and I know some of you are thinking, well, what's the cost? What's the catch? There is no catch, but I am going to share the cost with you in a moment. I want to go back to that question that I asked early on. What have you invested so far in your life, and where has it gotten you? Are you debt-free? Do you have financial freedom? Do you have time freedom? This is just a picture of what some professions and careers cost to get into nowadays and what you can expect to earn. Friends, I just showed you an opportunity where you could earn $150,000, $200,000, $250,000 a year or more very, very easily and very, very simply. If you look at what the cost of a normal business startup is in today's world, and I'm talking about professional business, that's what we have, a professional business model. The cost could be anywhere between 30 to 40,000. If you wanted to go out and get a franchise, that might be as low as 10 grand, or it could be as high as 5 million. The average for a franchise is between $100,000 and $300,000. Friends, we have a franchise model. It's a franchise model without the cost. and it's incredibly lucrative. What if you could earn 1,000 to 4,000 per week, beginning immediately with just a one-time small investment of $41.94, less than $5,000. And if you don't have the $41.94, don't worry about it. We'll finance it for you. We've got multiple different financing options. In fact, a lot of them are zero down, payments as low as $125 a month. And what if that same one-time investment also saved you 15, 20, 25 years worth of debt payments? Think about that, friends. You have an opportunity in front of you tonight where even if you don't have the $41.94, it's okay. We'll finance it. We'll help you get started. And you can go out and earn $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 before that first monthly payment of $125 even comes due. That's ultimate leverage. It's time to turn the tables on the banks and use their money to get rid of the debt and create wealth. You can beat inflation. You can crush the debt in your life, and you can become free, fast, and easy. And you get a lifetime of benefits. For that one low investment of about $41.94, you get lifetime trainings and support, lifetime support. I've researched what coaching costs. Friends, I've got a good friend. He's actually a professional coach. He charges $599 a month to coach people. He's incredibly successful doing it. He has dozens and dozens of clients, $599 a month. And he's actually on the low end of coaching. Most coaching is thousands and thousands. You can spend 25 grand on a coaching program that lasts a year. This is a lifetime worth of training, support, and coaching. $25,000 value is conservative. With your Money Max account, you're easily going to save $50,000, $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 or more of interest over your lifetime, easily. And it's going to be pretty quick. So when I put these numbers in front of you, please understand these are conservative. These are conservative numbers. You're going to get all future upgrades of this program for free. I bought my program in 2006. They've had multiple upgrades and I've never paid another penny. That's easily a $12,500 value because you know as well as I do, if you get on other programs, every time they upgrade it, you got to pay another fee. You get the ability to do financial planning, forecasting, and figure out true costs. We can literally show you, if you want to, how to build wealth with this system. In fact, you'll hear from one of our friends tonight that's going to talk very briefly about that, on using the system to actually build wealth. That's easily another $1,200 or $12,500 value. And all of the marketing tools and resources you could ever want that are already done for you. Everything is done. Everything is in place. You get this remarkable business for a one-time small investment of $41.94, and it will change your life. Conservatively, easily $125,000 value for a one-time investment of $41.94. So let me just ask you this in closing. Friends, think about this. Would you invest $41.94 one time in order to earn $1,000 to $4,000 per week, every week? Of course you would. That's not even a thought, right? Would you invest $41.94 one time in order to save 15, 20, or 25 years worth of debt and mortgage payments? Hello? Seriously, hello? Who would not do that? Of course you would. With United Financial Freedom, you get it all. And that's extraordinary. It's an easy as 1, 2, 3. All you have to do is get back to the person that referred you, sign up as an agent, get started on your own MMA program. We'll train you. We're going to just pour into you and train you on everything you need to know and how to be highly successful with this. Welcome to the most extraordinary business opportunity on the planet. United Financial Freedom, where freedom is made simple. You know, most people shrink their dreams to match their income. Now you can grow your income to match your dreams. Friends, thank you so much for joining us tonight for the presentation. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and turn the time back to Mr. Steve Bishop. Steve?
Lynn, great, as always, great presentation, so much great information there, and we certainly really appreciate that. And we actually would like to have a couple of our associates to come give us a good word. And Miss Di, if you don't mind signing on and just give us all the way from the northwest corner of America.
Good evening, everybody. Man, Lynn, when I was a little girl, I had such big hopes, such big dreams. And then I got out into the real world and I went to college because I followed all of the rules, right? I went to school, I got good grades, and I graduated with $120,000 worth of student loans because that's the price it took to work in my field. I got a degree in psychology. And during all those years I was in school, I couldn't make any money practicing. I had to have that degree. So the thought of a one-time $4,200 to be able to make more than I did as a practicing psychiatrist, that was a no-brainer. So you guys, personally, what this program did for me, it took me from 27 years on my mortgage down to 7.8, and it saved me $113,000 worth of interest. That's $113,000 that stays in my family's bank account. And if that's all this company ever did for me, praise God. I mean, that is awesome. But 25 years ago, I got out of psychology and into the field of financial services because I was a financial train wreck. Not only did I have $120,000 worth of student loans, I had a first mortgage, a second mortgage. I had $97,000 worth of credit card debt. I had a car payment, a van payment, and of course a timeshare, because we all had to have that, right? So, you know, when I realized I had been taken advantage of in every single financial aspect of my life, because nobody in all those years I went to college taught me how money works, I changed careers. So now I am here, and I don't only help people get out of debt, I help them build wealth. And I do it simultaneously because we have the ability, we're the only company in the world that knows how to spend the same dollar twice, meaning we use it to build wealth and to cancel debt. You don't have to choose one or the other. And so just a really fast client story. This was the first client that I helped when I came to UFF. And she had 28.2 years to go on her mortgage. She owed $296,000, but as Lynn showed you tonight, that's not what she was going to pay. She was going to pay $491,000 on that $296,000 debt. Zero life insurance, meaning her family was dangerously underprotected if anything happened to her, no living benefits, and she was putting $400 a month into a stinking 401k. And I say a stinking 401k because if you guys know the truth about 401ks, you would know that they stink. So that is where this friend of mine, that was her starting point. And listen to what we were able to do. We took her from 28 years on her mortgage down to 11.8. We saved her 16.3 years worth of mortgage payments and $116,000 worth of interest. That's not all we did. Once she's debt free, if she takes the same amount of money that she's currently spending to service her debt for the same amount of time she's currently scheduled to service that debt, and we put it into a wealth building account that we use as our offset account, when she retires, instead of being broke, she's going to have a tax-free income of $102,000 a year. You guys, it's the same amount of money, whether it's old plan or new plan. But look at the difference, being in debt for 28 years and retiring broke, being debt-free in 11.8 years with a six-figure income. That's what we have the power to do here. So I love this company for what it's done for me and what it does for my clients.
Thank you so much. I certainly appreciate that. And Katie, actually, could you actually open up and give us a little short testimonial as well, if you're available to do that? I'm not sure if what didn't
Hey,
see your name. Oh,
Steve.
there she is. Hey, Katie.
I'm gonna try. I just landed in Phoenix, so I was kind of in and out tonight. But can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear.
All right. Yeah, so I got started with the program about 3.5 years ago, and I had 28 years left on my mortgage, and it's gonna be paid off in 5.1 years. And I think I'm gonna save around $134,000 in interest. So definitely for me, it's awesome. I love having the tool where I can plug things in if I, have an expense and see what the true cost is. There's so many benefits to it. And the opportunity is by far the best opportunity I've seen out there. And so I would invite anybody that's on this call to definitely jump in and join us. I mean, because you don't really have, what do you have to lose, right? Inflation is going up, and
Yeah.
and everybody needs to make some extra money right now. And there's nothing better than helping people. So thanks a lot, Steve.
Thank you so much, Katie. I appreciate that. Hey, Katie, would
Yeah.
you say that was a pretty good investment? Maybe to spend $4,000 and save $135,000 plus all those years on your mortgage payment
All day long. I
all
like
day
to
long.
I like to use the example, if I was standing at an ATM and it said, if you put $4,000 in, I will give you 134,000 back, I would probably get a blanket, put it over myself, and chain myself to the ATM and do that over and over and over again. That's how good it is.
Well, that's so phenomenal. Well, I came in financial services business in 1971 as a 20-year-old kid. I didn't have a clue. The only thing I knew that I loved baseball and I loved Sue Bishop. Well, it took me to 2008. That is 37 years later before I found the MMA. Wow. I went to a meeting here in Atlanta, and I was introduced to United Financial Freedom, and I was so impressed that I called out to Salt Lake City and made an appointment to meet with John Mashinko and Skylar Whitman, the creators of our program. Went out and took two of my advisors with us and met with them for 2 days, and guess what? I was sold. So I came back in November 28th, 2008. Sue Bishop and I purchased our program. And Lynn, do you realize we've had it all these years, and they've never, all these upgrades, they have never charged me not one thing. All those coaching calls. Now, wait a minute. I didn't do the Sue did the coaching calls. So let me just truly be honest. But folks, let me tell you this. Listen, whoever invited you to this program, get back with them. Let them run your analysis. It's no obligation, no cost at all. I tell you, there's only one thing you'll lose. You'll lose your mortgage. You'll pay it off early. You'll save thousands of dollars. You'll be able to have monies to put into retirement planning. You'll have money to educate your children. You can actually help educate your children. They can go to school, they go to college, and they won't get out of college with a huge debt over their head. So whoever invited you tonight, come on, and we'd love to have you join us as well. So Lynn, my friend, listen, I'm going to turn it back over to you. And again, great presentation, and thanks everyone for being on with us this evening.
Thank you so much, Steve and Di and Katie. Oh my goodness, I love that. Friends, thank you so much. I promised you I would share my story with you before we wrap it up tonight and turn off the recording. Friends, when I was introduced to this program, $330,000 of debt, mortgage, credit cards, car loans, personal loans, had no job. The company I had been with had gone out of business. I had no income. Talk about somebody that was stressed out financially. That was me. Got on the program, became an agent with United Financial Freedom. 18 months later, 18 months, all of my debts, including my home, was paid in full. It's life-changing, friends. Get back to the person that invited you tonight and say yes to yourself, yes to your family, and yes to your future. Join us on our crusade, and thank you for being here tonight. God bless. Take care, everybody.
Good night.